We live. He out there going crazy. Okay, let's see. Did I put the... Nope, I didn't put the web's Facebook page in there. Gotta plug up the speaker. You got it? I'm gonna have to write that down too. Oh, but I gotta remember that. Hey, come on in, come on in. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share. Please share this video because we're going to be discussing something really important this evening. And I got some videos to show y'all, but I want to make sure we get a good amount of people in here before we start the videos and things. So please make sure you share the video and like. And in the chat area, I did put our Facebook group link in there. So please make sure you click on the Facebook link so you can join our Facebook group. All you have to do is click the link, and once you get to the Facebook group called Tanya's Primetime TV, just click please request to join. That's all you have to do is click request to join. And then I'll add you to the group. But today we are going to be discussing dangers of online dating. Oh, okay. Thanks, son. Okay, son. Thank you, son. Appreciate you, son. Love you too. Okay, so anyway, I have to have my son hook my equipment up. But anyway, yes, tonight we're going to be discussing dangers of online dating. And for those who might have had like a moment or a scary, story to tell about them or their friend, or, somebody they know who might have encountered somebody that they probably wish they wouldn't have met from online dating. We're going to be discussing all that also, and discussing a lady who basically could have potentially lost her life during a situation when she had met some guy that she thought was just perfect for her, perfect for her family, and he turned out to be like a nightmare come true. So we're going to be discussing that too. And let me turn the light on a little brighter. I hope that's a little better. Yeah, look a little brighter. But okay, so you guys, everybody who's just coming in, this is something that I've been wanting to discuss for a while. There's this video that has went viral regarding a lady who had met somebody from off of, I think it was it Plenty of Fish, or what's that other one called? Plenty of Fish. Oh my gosh. Tinder, that's it. So we're going to be discussing basically, horror— regarding online dating, meeting people, and also, you know, ways that you can prevent getting in, you know, certain situations. And then I'm going to show you guys a video of the person in particular that this live is mainly focused on. There's this lady named, well, actually, first of all, I'll start with the guy. There's this guy named, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I think it's Daniel, but it's spelled differently. His mother obviously tried to get creative. It's spelled Daniuel. So Daniel, yeah. And his last name is Drayton. And he's 27 years old. And he was recently arrested for raping a woman he met in a Uber pool. This guy, he like really got around. He would like get on the online dating sites. Like I said, he would be on Plenty of Fish. He would also be on Tinder and, you know, in the Uber pools. But basically, let me put this video on for you so you can, now it's about how long is this video? 1 second. Okay, here we go. Let me make it large so you can see. Okay, it's about a 9-minute video, y'all. So if y'all want to grab something to drink, grab some popcorn, grab you some chips, some hot fries, some hot skins, whatever your snack is. Grab your little drink, your little Kool-Aid, whatever you drink on, holy water, I don't care, whatever. I got me a little something in my little cup right here. But anywho, I'm going to play this video for you guys, and then we're going to discuss this video, and then we're going to discuss, you know, basically online dating. So here we go. Let me get the... Okay. All right, here we go. If I change the screen, duh. All right, sorry, I got it now. Okay.
He was the boyfriend who swept Zenea Barney off her feet.
You said he almost seemed like the dream guy. Yeah, I feel like a wonderland with him.
She says 27-year-old Daniel Drayton was a handsome, charismatic conversationalist she met on a dating app.
Like, we talked so much, we had so much in common. You know, he seemed like a real good guy.
She had no idea her life was in danger.
You'd never wake up one day and be like, my boyfriend that I'm dating is going to try to kill me.
The man she thought she was falling for, allegedly stalking her, threatening her, and her son, nearly choking her to death. Now we're learning Daniel Drayton is also a suspected murderer and rapist, accused of killing 29-year-old nurse Samantha Stewart last month and luring a number of women he met on dating sites into a string of heinous assaults. Zenea says Drayton first contacted her on the app Plenty of Fish in November of last year. She says she wasn't even looking for love.
He hit me up for like 2 days straight, didn't pay any mind, then I finally replied, and from there, like, our conversations went, like, every day.
They struck up a fast friendship. It quickly turned to romance.
He wanted a lot in life, and he had goals, no red flags, nothing to complain about. It was a delight to talk to him at that time.
How often did you guys see each other?
Every day. It was not a day we didn't see each other.
They dated 6 months. Drayton even met her young son. Zenea asked us not to show him.
The perfect guy. It was this house, you know, pretended to be.
But alarm bells went off when she saw another woman calling Drayton's phone. Zenea picked up.
And I was like, oh, how'd you meet him? She said, oh, through the app. I said, Plenty of Fish. She said, yes. And I was like, okay, but did he, like, mention to you, you know, he has a girlfriend? She was like, oh, he didn't mention that at all. And I just told him to get out my car. And that was how things started going left from that point on.
She says she broke it off, but he persisted, pleading to get her back. even trying to contact her on social media using multiple aliases.
And how did things start to spiral?
Every day he'll keep hitting me up, like he'll wait outside my house to the point he'll sleep outside my house, spend the night, or up watching my window.
When did you start realizing that there might be a threat to you?
The night he waited outside my house, I don't know the particular day, but it was in June.
She says he started throwing rocks at her window, at one point sneaking inside.
And that's when he placed the ladder clean through my window because I wouldn't let him in my house.
Another night, Barney says she filmed Drayton waiting out front. She claims she began to receive chilling texts and calls like this one, threatening to harm her son.
That's what you gonna do? You gonna do what? So you gonna do what to my son? You say you... That's when I knew, like, he has to go.
On June 13th, things escalated.
The day started off with him blowing my phone up as usual. He just kept calling me. So I was just like, let me just answer. And he was like, okay, wake up. I just want to talk to you. I'm about to go to California for a job.
She reluctantly agreed to see him off. They met for lunch. He didn't eat, but he asked if she could drop him at a nearby park.
I come into the park, I'm driving like this. I actually pull up exactly right here. That's when he proceeded to sit here and say, are we still going to be together? Are we still going to be back together? And I said no.
She says he refused to get out of the car.
And that's when he just looked at me in the car and then jumped across. Had both of his knees on top of my knees while my seatbelt was still on. And he got two of his hands stuck, his whole thumb in my throat. And that's why I still have the mark to this day.
At some point, did you think this is it?
When he was choking me, I can't even describe the feeling. That's when I kept feeling like this is it. I just kept thinking about my son. Like I have to live for my son. I have to get out.
In the very spot where it happened, she shows us how she narrowly escaped.
So I couldn't breathe, and at that moment, I had no choice but to just use my door and open him, and I came. I got out, and I got out, fell like this on the floor. And as I looked up, I seen 3 men come out the parking lot.
3 workers, seeing her in distress, rushed to help.
They asked me where I was alright. They were trying to save me from him. He viciously came around the car trying to attack me again. He kept saying he was going to kill me.
The men call police, but Drayton takes off.
If those 3 men didn't appear, I wouldn't be here.
Days later, Drayton was arrested and eventually charged with trespassing and strangulation. But a Nassau County judge later granting his release. Turns out, Drayton had already served 4 years in a Connecticut prison on multiple charges, including second-degree strangulation, unlawful restraint, and violating a restraining order. The Nassau County Court telling ABC News there was no way the judge could have known. The judge didn't know there was an out-of-state criminal history. Weeks after his release, that New York nurse Samantha Stewart is found dead in her home. Another 23-year-old woman raped. Police uncover both had gone on a date with Drayton.
The common denominator in these 2 cases, one being a murder, one being a rape, is dating websites.
How concerned were you when you found out that he had been released after that incident with you?
I was scared. I found out he was released that Wednesday when they pronounced that he may have murdered that young lady. I was so scared. I'm like, what can a mother do to protect her son?
The hunt leads investigators all the way to California.
2 independent investigations, as they progressed, led our detectives to one and the same individual. That individual was tracked across the country.
A fugitive task force and Los Angeles police eventually tracking him down in North Hollywood, arresting him last week in a hotel where they say he had raped and attempted to kill a woman he was holding hostage. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges. Drayton allegedly told investigators he had committed as many as 7 murders. Authorities now investigating.
At this point in time, any comments that he's made to us about his participation in other crimes has not been verified yet. But there is a lot of work to do.
In an interview with the New York Daily News, Drayton speaking out from behind bars, admitting he did choke Zenea, calling himself a, quote, good person, but saying that voices in his head make him do these things. Drayton went on to claim he was hoping to get caught because he didn't want anyone else to get hurt. But Zanaya says that man she once fell for should not be underestimated.
No, I literally believe that he would kill. Like, what his eyes, everything he did to me. I believe that he's capable of anything.
You feel guilt?
I felt guilty in the beginning because I kept feeling like, how can I not see the signs?
Zanaya now says she's swearing off all those dating apps for good.
Has this changed your outlook on those online dating apps?
Completely. I deleted every single one.
Los Angeles detective Trent Thurber investigates criminals using online dating to prey on their victims.
Online dating makes it a lot easier to trick somebody.
Thurber's advice when dating online: take things slow and do your research.
Checking the internet, there's a lot of information out there. Background checks are always good if you're willing to go the extra mile.
Experts say you can reverse image search your date to see where else their photo pops up. And trust your gut if something feels off.
Our instinct maybe needs to come into play. If you get one of those nervous feelings, maybe that's the time to to cut it off and move on.
For Zanaya, her harrowing experience has forced painful reflection and conviction to share her story as a warning for others.
Do you feel lucky to have survived?
I feel highly blessed, and I thank God every day about it, because I relive it every day, It just doesn't go away.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News.
Wow. So, that was, I think, how they pronounce her name, Zanaya Bar. And hey, cousin, I see you in the chat. Hey, cool. I think they said her name was Zanaya Barney. This guy, Daniel, like I said, his name is pronounced Daniel, is Danueal. Last name Drayton, Drayton. You can look him up and get more detailed information on him. But this is like, one of many men who find a lot of their victims on different websites like Plenty of Fish, Tinder. I don't know what all dating sites are out there. I do know of Tinder and Plenty of Fish because they're very popular, and I know a lot of friends who use them as well, and friends who has went on dates with people who have met people. Some of them kind of sketchy, and then some of them, were okay people that they met online. This could have went very badly for Zanaya, and I'm so glad that she didn't get, hurt, because this man is crazy. He was threatening to kill her child, and I'm glad that she had recorded that, because, and he can't be too brilliant, because she kept asking him over and over again, what do you say you're going to do? You're going to do what to my son? You're going to do what? And then what? What's that? I mean, she kept asking him over and over and over again. He can't be that brilliant, because he kept, like I said, he kept answering her. I said, I'm going to kill your son. I said, I'm going to kill your son, over and over again. So I'm glad she did record that, because that's going to help her case, help her stalking case. It's just crazy. Who's that in the chat? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Lady Scoop. Please make sure you share it. Please do make sure you share it. One of the reasons why this, when I saw this story being shared around, social media, I think I actually saw it on, I want to say YouTube. No, it wasn't YouTube. I think I saw it on Facebook. Somebody had shared it on Facebook, and I was like, what? This man, after he was arrested, after he was locked up due to some mix-up in paperwork, he was released. And then right after that, he murdered somebody and raped somebody. And he also told the police that he done killed other folks. They're investigating that. But he said he done killed other women and men as well. So I don't know as far as the men, if maybe he is I don't know, bisexual maybe, and had an encounter with a man from off of one of those dating websites, or if it was nothing like that and he just got into it with a man, over a dispute or whatnot, and he murdered him. I don't know. They're doing an investigation into these other murders and alleged crimes that he claims he's done. But the fact that this man, what got me was he's going to use the excuse, the reason why he done all this and why he killed all these people, why he raped all these women, is because he has voices in his head. Now, I'm assume that they're going to have him seen by doctors, psychiatrists, to make sure if he's really serious, if he's playing. Because, I mean, that is like the first thing people do when they go on killing sprees, when they raping people, when they, abusing people or whatever. Sometimes they try to cop that. I'm crazy. I'm out of my mind. I don't be know what I'm doing. I black out. I go blank, and when I wake up, it's like they dead and there's blood everywhere. So I'm hoping that this guy don't get off for something like that, because this is a serious matter, and not too many people who use these dating sites. Not too many people look at the side that it could be very dangerous, that they could be putting themselves in a very dangerous situation if they're not careful. And so that's why I like how they talk to that investigator, that detective. And how many of you guys watch Catfish? That is like one of my favorite television shows. I don't do reviews on it, but that's one of my favorite television shows. But on Catfish, the first thing they do, and everybody should know how to do this, the first thing they do is they reverse search. They reverse search. Anybody who gives you a name, anybody who sends you a picture, if they send you a picture, and like on Catfish, if the only pictures they can send you, and they've been on, you see their Facebook account got they've been on there for years and years and years, and they can only send you 3 or 4 pictures off of their Facebook, and they won't, accept your Facebook request. But you talking to these people for months and months and months and months and years, exchanging text messages and whatnot. It might be a situation. It might be a problem. You might be getting catfished. But the same thing with these people who, and I'm not judging nobody who goes on Plenty of Fish. I didn't sign up for dating sites before. I never went on a date or never. Usually, the times I have signed up, I remember my friend had got me to sign up to, what was it? I think it was the Plenty of Fish one. The Plenty of Fish one. I signed up for it and immediately forgot I signed up for it. And then she had brought it up one time because she had met somebody on there and she had went on a date. And I was like, oh man, I got an account on Plenty of Fish. I ain't checked it since you helped me sign up. This was so long ago. So when I went on there to check, I had 2 million hits and messages. And I'm like, I ain't going through all that mess. And I just logged out. So I'm like, it's not that I never signed up for one before. So I'm not going to sit here and act all bougie or nothing. I don't do online date. I've never met anybody online to date. So I'm not saying that you cannot meet love, that you cannot meet your forever man, your forever woman, your knight in shining armor, because you can. There are good people out there. What was that, Miss Lady Scoop? I know a woman that goes out of the country to visit men that they meet on the... Oh, no! No. Matter of fact, let me turn the I'm gonna turn the phone lines on. I forgot to turn the phone lines on. But no. And matter of fact, I did a review on Miss Lady School. I did a review on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood earlier today. And I don't know if you saw my review or if you actually watched the show. But either way, if you did one or the other, you saw how A1's mother, she was telling Marcus that she had met a man, a Nigerian, online. She met him online on a dating website, and they've only talking to each other, by Skype or something like that. And she's never met him in person. And she said she was going to fly to Nigeria to meet him. And I'm like, are you serious? Heck no. First of all, if I meet a man overseas, he better come here. He better have a passport. I'm not going overseas to meet nobody. Shoot, you probably can't even get me out the state to meet anybody, because I don't know, I'm a little scary like that. I'll be like, I need my strap, I need my blade, I need my taser, I need my mace, I need all weapons on deck. Because you just don't know. Let me put this phone number in here. Let's see, the phone number is, there it is, 641 715 0872. See my PIN number. And of course, the PIN number, you guys, is posted right on the video. Your PIN number is 434478.
Please enter your access code followed by the pound or hash sign.
Okay, and mine is 5.
Access code accepted. You are the only participant in the conference.
Okay, you guys. I'm gonna turn the volume down. Because this elevator music, I know I say it all the time, but that elevator music be driving me crazy. But anyway, if you want to call in and you want to discuss this or discuss some stories that you done heard of or that you done been through yourself, or that a friend or relative or something, been through, please call in. Feel free to call in so we can chat about it. The number is listed 641-715-0872. And the access code is 434478. And let me see. Who else is in the comments? Okay, I said hey to Elon. I said hey to Miss Lady Scoop. And I'm just going to read a little bit about this Drayton guy. Again, his name is Daniel Drayton. For those who are just coming in, I already showed the video. We're discussing this guy named Daniel Drayton. He's a suspect in a murder of a nurse in New York City and at least 2 rapes. And he blames voices in his head for his alleged crimes. He was arrested on July 24th in LA on charges of sexual assault and attempted murder. Drayton, he is 27 years old, from Connecticut, and he's alleged to have used dating and ride-hailing apps like Uber to prey on his women, and dating sites like Tinder and Plenty of Fish. Excuse me. Now, again, he was arrested in LA on July 24th for allegedly raping and trying to kill a woman in her North Hollywood apartment. He has been connected to a murder in Queens, New York that occurred earlier in July. Now, investigators believe that Drayton used Tinder to meet Samantha Stewart, who was a 29-year-old nurse who was found dead in her Queens apartment on July 17th. And then when they were interviewing him, again, he was saying, there's voices in my head. I'm not responsible for my actions. He said he remembers going on a date with Stewart and heading back to her home where he strangled her to death. He said he really liked her and he didn't want to kill her. Like, are you serious? So the voices in your head, regardless if you liked her or not, really, really liked her, the voices in your head told you to kill this innocent woman. He said they told him that she had to die. I think this guy is really playing it up. He is playing it up for real, really. He even said after he strangled her that he tried to resuscitate her. Like he gave her mouth to mouth. I don't know, chest compression. I don't know what he did to try to resuscitate her. But he kept saying it was voices in my head, told me to kill her. She don't need to live. She has to die. Again, I really hope that he doesn't get away with that, get away with playing crazy, because I don't think she's crazy. And from the video that we watched, you know, when Zanaya was dealing with him, when she was dating him, she said he seemed like a really, really, really nice guy when she first met. Nice enough to bring around her son, her young son that she had. But he claims he suffers from schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. But they checked his background, they checked his medical records. They found no evidence of any mental illness history at all. Never went to see a psychiatrist, never went to see a mental illness doctor, never been admitted anywhere. As far as, you know, growing up in school, no incidents. They couldn't find anything. So again, I believe he is trying to play this off like a lot of people do, get caught for murder, rape, assault, you know, things like that. And they want to play the crazy card. I hope it really does not work for this guy. But then he says he was hoping he would get caught because he didn't want to hurt anybody else. How many times have you heard that one before? Even if it was in a movie or something like that, they hoping they get caught. Instead of turning themselves in, they just gonna keep on killing people and murdering and raping people and hope somebody catches them in the act. I don't know. He said he took some of her things with him. He used them. He kept the same phone. He said he knew they could track it. I didn't know how long it would take. I don't know. But like you said, Miss Lady Scoop, even if, you know, you said, you know, people who went out of the country. I don't know anybody who went out of the country to meet anybody from like a dating site. But I do know people who have went out of town, like to like another state. I know people who have invited people from other states to come here to our state. And I'm always like, you don't really even know them. Like, how long have you been talking to them? Oh, you know, it's been a few months. You know, a few months? I mean, people that you see every day in everyday life, you can't even guarantee that you're safe around them, that they're not telling the truth, that they're not pulling your leg, or that they're in another relationship or 2-3 other relationships. So, I mean, you have to really be careful out here nowadays, because I done heard some stories like meeting people online, you meet them in person, you find out they got anger issues, anger problems. They was in jail. They done lied to you. They've been in and out of jail and they done lied to you. And you had no idea. And not saying that people in jail are not worthy of love. But if you're speaking with somebody online and you plan leading people, why? Unless you're truly trying to hide something from somebody. But again, I'm glad this girl, Zanaya, I mean, the night when she got out the van or out her truck, and there was, I think she said there was three guys there at this company near where he was trying to, I don't know what he was going to do to her. I don't know if he was going to kill her. I don't know, but thank God some guys were there. What'd you say, Miss Lady Scoop? He also stated he killed 7 other women. And I'm like, they do. I guess they was, you know, they looking into it. You know, he got arrested back in July. So it's what? August, July, August, September. It's been some time. So I don't know how much more investigation they got to do, because there really hasn't been any updates on this guy. as far as if they found any bodies or any evidence of any other bodies. The two ladies who had, one of them had been murdered. One of them had been, well, the nurse had been murdered. The other one had been raped. They were literally raped and murdered, like literally right after he was released. And they both had recently met him on those dating websites. And they said it was a mix-up with paperwork at the police station. He shouldn't have even got out. So I don't know. I'm really waiting to get some update information to find out if he killed some other people. 7 women. And then he blames it on schizophrenia, on bipolar. But then, as far as his bi-coastal crimes, he used Stewart's credit card, and he bought a one-way ticket to LA and met his last alleged victim during an Uber ride. And he claimed, hold on, I'm reading my notes. He and a 21-year-old, oh, somebody just, what's that gold star for you? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading I got a YouTube notification. He and a 20-year-old woman had hit it off and returned to her North Hollywood apartment, where he allegedly strangled and sexually assaulted her for over 2 days. And then, after they caught him, that Monday, he pleaded not guilty to charges of attempted murder, attempted first-degree murder, forcible rape, penetration with a foreign object, and false imprisonment by violence. And during his hearing in LA, he was overheard muttering incoherently. He's trying to make this into a game. He's trying to make this into a game. You muttering incoherently. I would like to ask I would like to ask her, did he ever mutter incoherently around you? Because not one time did she mention that she thought he was schizophrenic or bipolar, or he showed any signs of that. But he did show signs of being abusive. But if you're schizophrenic or bipolar, people are going to see those signs. And they're going to see them before you kill 7, 8, 9 people. I mean, you would think. You would think. I don't know. But you guys, the phone lines are open if you want to call in. I'm trying to read what this person sent me. What is this? Oh, oops. What is this? Oh. Oh, somebody had commented on a different live earlier. But anywho, you guys, let me know if you know any, like I said, if you got any stories on any situations where you have met somebody online. Any of the websites. Like I said, I don't know all of them. I just know about Tinder and Plenty of Fish. Them the only ones. Now, back in the day, what were some of the other ones we... That's sad. That's sad. I really don't remember any of the... I don't even remember. I really never been on the websites. Like I said, my homegirl, she had got me... we had went out to dinner one day. And she was telling me about these guys she had met on Tinder. And I was like, Tinder? What's that? I heard about that before. This was, I don't know, probably like 6 months ago. I said, I heard of that before. And she said, oh, yeah, it's a site. You know, it's some nice people on there. And I was like, oh, okay, okay. And I was asking her, you know, well, help me sign up. She helped me sign up. And I signed up. But then, you know, I do a lot of work. I'm a cake decorator. I have kids. And I just totally forgot I even signed up. And then months and months later, she was telling me about some guy she met on the site. And I was like, oh, dang, I forgot. You signed me up. You know, I got an account. And that's when I had went and I had checked my account. I said, let me log in. Because we had went out to dinner again. And I logged in. I said, I don't even remember my login PIN number. So it took me a few times. Then I got in. and I had like a gazillion messages, and I was like, I'm not reading through all these messages. Maybe one day when I'm super bored, I'll read through some messages. But when I was just briefly scrolling, I was like, nah, and I just closed my phone and we went back, continued our dinner. But anywho, so if you got any stories to tell or anything, feel free to call in or type it in the chat if you're a little too shy to type it to call in. But the phone lines are open. And the phone number 641-715-0872. Access code 434478. And then what else did I read about this guy? Okay. Now, after he was arrested, just like Miss Lady Scoop said in the chat, after he was arrested, Danielle Drayton, some people parents, they just gotta be so so creative when they spelling people's name. His name is spelled DANUEAL, Daniel. But anywho, following his arrest, they said he admitted to 7 murders. They're looking into, the other possible victims that he said, but I figured if he did kill him 7 people, that's a lot, but it's not enough where he probably can't remember, where he killed them, who they were, where he met them. Most serial rapists, serial murderers, they do normally keep like a keepsake from all their victims. Sometimes with rapists, they might keep like a piece of their underclothes, sometimes a piece of their hair, or something they might have found, like in their bedroom or something, like a barrette or a mirror, or, just some type of keepsake. So if he really did do this, I hope he really helped the police, solve the murders of these missing people, whoever they are, that he claims, that he alleges he had, what's that? You said being just 27. How long? And see, you're right. You said his parents was the first to know he was dangerous. And that is a very young age to be a serial murderer, or a rapist. 27, because if he kills 7 people, that doesn't include the people he raped. So I don't know how long he been at this. I'm hoping that, like I said, if he did, I'm not hoping he did kill anybody, you guys, but I'm hoping that if he did kill people, that they be able to solve those crimes and then put like a timeline out for, so we can see how far back this has been going on with this guy. I mean, it could have been going on for years, or he could have just all did it within like the last year or two. Right now, we just don't know. But they said that if you look at the body of work, what just took place is not much of a stretch, unfortunately, that there are going to be other victims. So that's what the police and the detectives are saying. They're basically looking at, the things that they know that they definitely have proof of. Like him raping people, him strangling people, the murder of the nurse, and the other lady that he raped, and then the victim that was in the video that I showed you guys. I mean, basically, looking at him overall, the detectives and everything, they're like, it's not a far stretch. It could be more than 7. I mean, I'll never understand why somebody would claim to be a murderer or a rapist, something severe like that, if they really didn't do it. knowing they could get more time on their hands. I mean, right now he's probably already looking at life in prison. So, I mean, I don't know. I really have a feeling it's sad, but I really have a feeling that he probably did kill 7 other people, like he said. And then he said one of them was a man. One of them was a man. And as far as like rape victims, they're also waiting on rape victims to come forward because they believe that there's probably other rape victims as well. Maybe some that got away, but for some reason they're too scared. I don't know. Me personally, I would turn his butt in if I had to encounter him. I would turn his butt in. So if anybody out there is watching, if they are watching and you have been assaulted by him or raped, please go give your story. Go down to the police station, press charges so they can make some things stick with this man. Because right now they are pretty much certain that he murdered the nurse and that he raped the other lady because of the timeline. He was in the area. He was just recently released because of somebody messing up the paperwork. At the precinct, somebody messed up the paperwork. And they have both just recently met him online on the dating websites. So, but then Zanaya, 26-year-old Zanaya Barney. That's the one who was in the video that we watched earlier. But yes, he definitely has been linked to her. He had raped her after they had broke up, after he started acting crazy and she saw signs of basically, I don't need to be with this fool. And I got a child too. And he was threatening to hurt her and hurt her child. So I'm glad she got out when she did, when she could. But as far as what she did after they broke up, like, ladies, never, ever, 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 ever do that. When you encounter somebody like that and they abuse you, they abuse you or your children, they make threats, they threaten to murder you, they beat you up, assault you sexually, mentally, physically, and then you break up, and months down the line, oh, can we just meet up and talk? I just want to talk to you. I just want to apologize in person for all the things that I've done to you and all the ways that I've hurt you and your family and your children. Don't fall for it. Zanaya, she almost lost her life. If it wasn't for those 3 workers that saw her crawling out that car and trying to get away from him. And she should have known when he said he wanted to meet her for lunch. And they get to Chipotle, and he says, I'm not hungry. He had other things on his mind. And it definitely wasn't food. Don't fall for it, ladies. When you get rid of a man, when you get him out of your hairs, ignore him, ignore the phone calls, get you a restraining order, do something. I know restraining orders are not 100% going to keep you safe. But for the most part, people are scared of restraining orders. For the most part. Some of them, they just so crazy. They like, I don't care. I'm going to get you anyway. I don't care. You got a piece of paper. I don't care what the judge says. I don't care. Arrest me. I don't care. But more than not, when you put a restraining order on somebody, especially if they have jobs, they have children, they are going to obey the restraining order. But if you don't put the restraining order on them and something happens and you guys get into an altercation and maybe you have to put that man down, if you don't have any proof that he hit you, that he abused you, that he raped you, that he assaulted you, if you don't have any proof, it's really hard to prove self-defense. And it's becoming like that. I mean, back in the day, it probably was a little bit easier. It probably was, but you know what? This show that I've been watching, that I do reviews on, is called Greenleaf. If anybody out there is a fan of Greenleaf, let me know in the chat, because you got to watch my reviews that I'll be doing on the show. Matter of fact, I'm doing a review on it tomorrow for the show that just came on recently on Wednesday. I got to do Greenleaf and I got to do Empire Review. Yep, them two. I got to do them two tomorrow. But on there, during this season, Grace, she is working with the Self-Defense Fund that she founded. It's basically for women who get in situations where they were abused, raped, assaulted, beaten, by their boyfriends, their husbands, things like that. And they have to put them down. They had to put them down. It was like life or death situation where you fighting, you reach for a gun, you reach for a bottle, you reach for a knife, you protecting yourself. And you end up having to put that man down. And then when you go to court, it's like, okay, the judge, they're looking at it like this. They're saying that you're going to get, if you plead, you can get like 10 years. Maybe 10 to 15. If you don't plead, you could be facing 25 to life. Even though you swear it was self-defense. Sometimes it flies, sometimes it doesn't. But she has started a self-defense fund for women so that they wouldn't have to use, what do they call them? The prosecutor, the fine, I can't think what they're called. Oh my gosh. You know what I mean. The attorneys that you don't pay for, the free ones. Public defender, that's what it's called. I'm like drawing a blank, like, come on, Tanya, snap out of it. But public defender. And so it's basically a fund to hire expert attorneys who mainly, work on those kind of cases so that they can help women out of those type of situations. But back to reality, because that's just a TV show. Back to reality. If you find yourself in a situation like that, if you meet somebody online, I'm not going to say don't meet nobody online, because I swear some people you meet in person, they like batshit crazy. I done met some. Let me tell y'all this story. Not too many people know this story, but my close friends. And a few family members. And it happened a long time ago. My oldest son, he's 21. He'll be 22 in April. So this happened a long time ago. He was literally probably about, I want to say he was probably about 6 months old. He was a new baby, because I remember the apartment that I was staying in, like 6 months later, after he was born, I moved to another apartment. So I was still in this apartment when this happened. But let me tell y'all this story. I had him at 22. And I was outside, probably getting in and out of my car, because I was usually only outside it was an apartment. It wasn't like a really nice area where people could sit, or, we didn't have patios. It was, I was young. I had me a cheap apartment, and the rent was cheap. Oh my God, the rent was like $275 for one. It was really cheap. It was an efficiency department. So, I was probably getting out of my car, or either on my way to work or leaving to go to come home from work. But anyway, I saw this guy, and he was outside, And he worked for Deaf and Ball. I don't know, some of you cities might have a Deaf and Ball. Basically, it's the city trash company or whatever. And they were out picking up the trash or whatnot. And I've never been one of those people like, don't date a person who do this, or don't date a person at McDonald's, you know. And I was young then, so it wasn't like I was in my 30s and 40s and had a great job and finished college and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And, or, you know, one of those people who you got to meet my 6 figures, or you know what I mean. So I was young then. So, he had approached me, and he was really respectful. I mean, he was on the back of a truck, but he was really respectful. He was like, "Hey, miss, how you doing? You know, would you mind if I get your number, or if I can give you your number?" I don't remember if I gave him mine or he gave me. I can't remember, but I think I gave him mine, and I gave him my number, and he called like that very same day. And we talked for a few minutes, and then, you know, got off the phone, whatnot. We talked again, like probably every day for maybe, I don't know, a week. Just talking on the phone for about a week. But then I always tell my little cousins and my little, not only my little cousins, but young people in general, when we discussing relationships and things like that, and trust, and, you know, things like that. You know, when you kicking that knowledge down to these young folks that think they know everything, I always tell them, if you consistently talking with somebody you just met on the phone, it only takes like no more than probably 4 or 5 phone calls to know if you should continue going that direction, or if you should tell them to scrap your number, or you should block them and delete their number out your phone, because it don't take months and months and months. There are signs that you have to look for when you meet someone. There are signs. They there. I promise you, they are there. And people who get into situations where they have to fight for their life, or they meet somebody crazy who try to kill them, or, you know, rape them, or something, there are signs that are there. You just have to have your eyes open, and you have to always be on alert, especially as a woman. And so, anywho, let me get back to this story. We had talked almost every day for, I don't know, it was about a week, 5 or 7 days, something like that. And he, how does this happen? Okay, I had a roommate. Let me keep in mind, it was me. It was my god sister, and it was one of my really good, cool homegirls back then. We all was like trying to save money and stuff, and, you know, I had just had a baby, so we always living together, helping each other out, paying bills, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And we go way back, so it was people that I knew, you know, really knew. When I felt that sense that something was wrong, and I think it had to do with him, he was calling too much. He was calling like way too much. And I've always been the kind of person, like, if I don't know you too well, I'm not inviting you over my house. And I had a little baby, a newborn baby then, so I'm really, like, protective of my child. But I'm just that kind of chick. I'm like, you don't, even now, and my kids are both, one's grown and the other one's almost grown. I'm still like, ain't nobody coming to my house like that unless I really, really know you. We've been talking for a long time, you know, whatever. But anywho, it was just a lot of weird stuff going on. Like, he was calling too much. He was always trying to come over. He wasn't trying to go out anywhere. And then every time when I would tell him, you know what, I don't want nobody over my house with the woo woo. He would like make a big deal, like, oh, you know, you don't want to be around me. I'm a trash guy. I pick up trash. You shame. Like, we ain't even dating. So what do I gotta be ashamed of? So anyway, one time I invited him over. We gonna play cards. We just gonna kick back. I had my friends around me. I had my cousin. He's a guy. He lived upstairs with his girlfriend. And I had another cousin who lived on a different floor. So, you know, I had a lot of family and peeps around me. So in my house, we played cards a lot, you know, in my house. So it wasn't like I was alone. He came over, we kicked it, we had a few drinks, we played spades. He left. He didn't spend the night. We didn't hug. We didn't kiss. I was around my friends and family, so nothing went on. Nothing. And so, but he still was giving off these vibes that I didn't like. So after that, I was like, okay, next time he calls, I'm not going to talk to this dude. I'm not going to give him time of day. But I was always bad at giving guys a reason why I didn't want to deal with them no more. You know, guys that I just met. So I just stopped answering the phone. I just stopped answering the phone, and he kept calling. And we didn't really have cell phones back at that time period. A few of us had cell phones, but we really didn't use them because back that time, remember how it used to be where nobody really used the phone unless it was like at night, because that's when you got free unlimited minutes and stuff like that. Or some people had like a calling card with minutes on it, a minute phone. So we didn't really use our cell phone. So anyway, he was calling the house phone, and he would blow the phone up, and I'm like, I would tell my friends, tell him I'm not here, tell him I'm not here. And he would just keep calling and calling. Then it got to the point where my roommate, my homegirl, she had answered the phone one time, and he was like, I'm trying to reach Tanya. Y'all keep telling me she ain't home. I know she there. You know, I be driving past and her car be out. They be like, you driving past? Now, mind you, this is the man who worked in our neighborhood picking up trash. So, of course, he knows where I live. And then he also came over that day to play spades. So, we was like, okay, this ain't cool. This ain't cool at all. My friend would tell him she don't want to talk to you. You know, she's moved on. You know, please quit calling us. Please quit calling the house. He would stop calling for a few days. Then he would start calling back up and ringing the phone off the hook. And so finally they was like, Tanya, just talk to this man just so he can stop calling. So, okay, I got on the phone and I talked to the man and I'm like, listen, it's not working out. You know, you seem like a, you know, very nice guy for somebody, just not for me. I'm not ready for a relationship. I told him some kind of story, you know, whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. He kept calling. I'm like, not answering the phone. My homegirls was like, Tanya, okay, I'm about to cuss this man out, and he ain't gonna call back no more after I cuss him out. She picked up the phone. If you don't stop calling, you know, cuss him out. He started cussing her out. Bitch, if you don't put her on the phone, I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna F y'all up and whoop. Now keep in mind, you guys, we knew each other for about a week. Then he came over to play cards, and that was it. There was no sex involved. I don't know what his lips taste like. I don't know what his breath smell like. It was like, you know, he came over, hey, what's up? How you doing? You know, play cards, and that was it. You know, gave him a hug, walked him to his car. That was it. But he kept calling me and stalking me. So finally one day he called, and I clicked over, and on three-way I dialed 911. He didn't know I was calling 911. I just told him to hold on. I told 911 operator what's going on. This man keeps stalking me, keeps calling me. He won't stop calling me. She was like, well, ma'am, would you like us to send the police out there? He's not over here. He's on the phone. And they was like, well, the best thing you should do, ma'am, don't answer his phone calls and come and file a police report. And I'm like, okay. So she was like, you know what? He's on the phone right now. I said, yeah. She said, put me in on the three-way. And so I did, and I clicked her in, and she was like, sir, this is 911 operator such and such, and he slammed the phone down and hung up. He didn't call back for a few days. I was like, dang, we done got rid of him. Oh my God, this was like so scary. And I'm like, I barely even know this dude. But he stopped calling. I'm thinking, oh, I'm cool. You know, a few weeks go by, don't hear from this guy. And one day, y'all, this gonna crack y'all up. This one day, and if anybody's watching this that knows me from this state and knows me personally, they probably laughing because they like, man, this part is funny. But one day, I went to work, right? And I think I had a few days off. And I had went to work. It was a telemarketing. I had went to work, and I go in and I see all my friends, you know, because I had been working there for like 3 years. I see all my friends. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Woo. I'm walking down through the aisles of the cubicles, like the halls. But you know, I'm walking down the floor and there's cubicles here, cubicles here. I'm walking down the aisle. I see a sign, a name tag on this cubicle, and it's the name of the guy that has been stalking and harassing me. I saw that name, and I immediately, y'all gonna laugh, but it's truth. I immediately dropped to the floor. I burst out in tears. I crawled the opposite direction really fast. Really fast. And I crawled all the way into my supervisor's office. People were looking like, Tanya, what the hell is you doing? What is you doing? I'm be quiet. I'm like, I ran in there. I jumped up. She was behind her desk on the phone. She saw me crawling into her office. I jumped up. I slammed her door. I closed her blinds all the way shut. And she's like, what is wrong? And she doesn't see me crying and her makeup is running all down my face. And she's like, Tanya, what is wrong? What is wrong? Are you okay? Is it your baby? Because, I mean, like I said, I had a newborn baby. I said, no. I said, I quit. I quit. Could you please have somebody walk me to my car? And she's like, what you mean you quit? I'm like, I quit. I cannot be in this building any longer if that man is working here. And she was like, what are you talking about? And so I told her the rundown of what's going on. She was like, no, I'll never forget her name. She was Val. Her name was Val. And I'll never forget her name. She said, no, you cannot quit. She listened to my whole story. She said, listen, I'm going to send you home today. I'm going to send you home. I won't dock you or anything like that. You know, just go home and try to relax, and we'll try to figure this out. I'm like, no, I'm not coming back. I quit. I can't come back. And I said, this man is crazy. You don't understand. He's been calling me for weeks and weeks and weeks and stalking me and driving by my house. He had a job. I don't know how much they make in sanitation, but I think it was probably at least maybe $12 an hour. I don't know. That's not rich money, but he had a job. He quit his job. Y'all. He quit his job and got hired at my job. Like, who does that? And so it just so happened that day, okay, now, our telemarketing company, we have really short training classes. There literally was like a few hour training classes because we didn't do much. We basically called people and renewed free subscriptions. So it wasn't like some job you needed training for, college or anything like that, or even experience. So you go to training class, you're in there for like 3-4 hours, and they put you on the floor. So it just so happened he had got hired and he had started training the day that I was off of work, those few days. And then he was off of work that day. So I'm like, it just happened that he wasn't there. So I go home, I'm tripping, I'm telling all my friends, and mind you, the people I live with, they also worked at that same place with me. I had a whole lot of friends. We all worked at that job. And I had went home and I was like, dang, I gotta quit. I can't quit. I just got a newborn baby. I gotta keep my job. And I was like going through all this, like, should I just go back to work and just be strong and try to ignore him? Or, I mean, what should I do? I didn't know what to do. So anyway, I come back to work the next day and he wasn't there. And I was like, no, matter of fact, I took 2 days off. That's right. I took 2 days off. And because I couldn't come back the next day because I was just traumatized. So I took that day off as well. When I came back on the first day, he wasn't there. That's when I found out he worked there. The second day, I stayed home because I was still scared. The third day, I was like, I'm just going to go back to work. I don't have that much vacation and sick time. I'm just going to go back to work. I went back to work and he wasn't there. I was like, oh my God, he's not here. I'm like not crawling, but I was like tiptoeing, through the, like looking, like trying to look over the cubicle, see if he's there. He wasn't there. And my supervisor called me in the office. She said, Tanya, he didn't come. He came in yesterday, the day you stayed home, but he left. And I was like, what you mean he left? He was sick. I was like, he left sick? She said, yeah, he left sick. He said he was sick. I said, okay. What's the deal with that? And she was like, I don't know. But she said, what we're going to do is, because we think he really don't want to work here. And if he keeps calling in or leaving early, that gives a reason to fire him. I was like, okay, that's how we going to play this out? And she was like, yeah, so just go to work. Tomorrow, the next day I was off also. So she was like, just go to work and we'll see if he comes in tomorrow. So the next day I didn't have to work. I come in the day after. My supervisor tells me he came in that day that I didn't have to work. He again told them he was sick. He worked like half day and told them he was sick and he left. I'm like, I see what he trying to do. And they see what he trying to do. He was trying to catch me at work. But every time I was off, he would show up. Then he would leave when he saw I wasn't there. In the meantime, and in between time, what I had did, because I had a lot of homeboys who worked there. So I'm like, the day he does get there, I have my bodyguards. They all knew the story. They all talked to my supervisor. Everywhere I went or everywhere I was supposed to go, whether it was lunch, to the bathroom, to get a pop out the pop machine, if I had to go, I don't know, anywhere in the building, I did not go alone. I had at least 5 guys around me at all times. So the next day, I come to work and he comes in there. And I'm like so afraid I can barely concentrate on my phone calls. I'm like so afraid, but I got my bodyguards. They had rearranged our seating, so I had guys sitting all around me. And every time we went somewhere, he'd be like, Tanya, I need to holler at you. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. Why are you here? And then the guys would tell him, leave her alone. She don't want to talk to you, man. You better fall off if you know what's best for you. And these was like we worked in a telemarketing, okay? It was not like some big business professional setting. I mean, these is guys from the streets. I'm from the streets. So these is guys from the streets. These my homeboys that I knew for a long time. And they wasn't playing with this man. So he would go on about his business. Then he would try to catch me again. Tanya. Basically, he couldn't get to me. Because I had my bodyguards around me. They walked me to my car. They walked me to the break room, the bathroom, wherever I needed to go. This man eventually kept coming to work on my days I was off and not quitting, but leaving sick. So he had did it like enough times. They were able to point him out because we was on a point system. They were able to point him out and fire him and let him go. Now, after that, I was relieved. I was happy. I didn't need my little bodyguards anymore. I still didn't get no phone calls from him anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, it's over. It's over. I can breathe. I can relax. I felt safe again. Why? Not even 2 weeks later, I was watching the news. Me and my homegirl sitting around the house. We was watching the news, probably cooking dinner or something. On the news, it was this like breaking news. Suspect, such and such, because I ain't gonna say his name. Such and such. They looking for him. He done robbed a store or bank. I can't even remember because it's so long ago, but he robbed somebody. It was that guy. Then they start giving his background and his rap sheet. I didn't know he had a rap sheet. They said he was psychotic. He was schizophrenic. They said he, what drug was he on? I can't remember if it was crack or heroin, but he was a drug addict. I mean, all these things. And it was more stuff down there. He had more crimes, more burglaries, assaults, all kind of stuff. I'm telling y'all this story because, and I don't tell a lot of people this story, but it's out there now. It's out there now. But like I said, a lot of people who worked with me or know me very well, they know this story. But He finally was arrested and caught up, and he went to prison. But he had already even been in prison. I mean, I had no knowledge of this. When I first met him, he seemed like that, just a nice young guy, young man. He was very courteous, respectful, miss and ma'am, and all this. And within days, he turned stalkerish. He turned like batshit crazy. I always tell my little nieces and my little cousins and just females in general that are young, it does not take that long for you to see the signs. I saw the signs. I grew up in the streets, so I saw a lot. I saw a lot of people being abused and victimized. It's sad to say, but even women in my family, I saw them get beat and victimized by their husbands, their boyfriends. I saw this growing up. Saw people doing drugs. It was a lot. Like most people, when you grow up in the streets, you grow up in an urban community, you see a lot of that. Those signs, I knew they weren't right. Calling me all the time, all day long, like we're not even in a relationship. Why is you calling me all day long? And then when my friends say she's not home, you cussing them out and calling them liars and da 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 da. We're not even in a relationship. So I knew the signs were there. If I did not listen to those signs, y'all, I don't know what would have happened to me. I don't know what would have happened to my little baby or my friends or my god sister. We all live together. I don't know. Again, I say this to say, like that girl who got away from Danielle, the one who had help from those 3 strangers, those 3 guys she didn't know. She dated him for a certain period of time, and it took a while, but she eventually was like, something is wrong with this man. You have to see the signs. And when you dating people online, you have to have your eyes have to be even wider. Like that man, did y'all hear the detective? What he said was, Detective Trent Thurber, he says, when people are online dating, it makes it easier for them to trick people. So take things slow. Slow. Don't be meeting nobody online and y'all going out on a date like a day or 2 later. I mean, you see this all the time. It's on TVs, on movies, and in real life. You don't know them. Dating online can be like a shield. A shield to people. You type it. I mean, anybody can type, oh, I do this for a living. I do that for a living. I'm a cool guy. I like to take walks in the park. I like to go to movies. I like to sit in front of a fireplace in the wintertime and eat roasted marshmallows. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. He also said, besides taking things slow, do your research. Like I was talking about Catfish. I love Catfish. I love that show. Do your research. Check the internet. Do reverse image search. I said that earlier. Reverse image search. See if their picture is somewhere else. 9 times out of 10, if it's somebody who's been on social media for a while, who has like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that, 9 times out of 10, if you do a reverse search, you can find that same picture somewhere else. Usually, you can find their name somewhere else, their address, phone number, friends of friends. If something looks suspect, let it go. He also said, some people might laugh, but if you really find somebody that you think you might want to take serious, do a background check. Cost a few dollars to do it online, but sometimes it can be worth it. But the main thing, you guys, is trust your gut. If something feels off, if the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, always trust your first instinct. And we as women, we have like not even 5 cents. We have 6 cents. We have 7, 8, 9 cents. We don't always listen to our first instinct. You have to, because you can never be too safe these days. You can never be too safe. But anyway, I'm glad we talked about this tonight because, again, a lot of people go on these dating websites and they be too trustworthy of people. And even people in real life, like I didn't meet that crazy fool on no website. I met him right outside my house. Right outside my house. And he seemed like a great guy. I mean, granted, he was out there picking up trash. I mean, I like a lot of women. We don't really discriminate. I mean, I'm like this. I always believe my dad, he worked in packing houses for most of my life. Most of my life. He's my stepdad. Ooh, excuse me. I felt that coming. Thought I could hold it in. But, excuse me. I'm still getting over my cold. But, he came into my life around 4. And he's still in my life. My mom passed like 3 years ago. But he's still in my life. And I have brothers by him that were born after me when they got together. But the majority of my life, he worked at a packing house. Around here in the Midwest, if you live in the Midwest, a packing plant was like the spot to get your coins up. They paid very good money. And I still believe they do still pay very good money. It's not as many packing plants here in Omaha as it used to be. But almost everybody you encountered as far as grown men, almost every one of them worked at packing houses in our neck of the woods. Cutting up meat, coming home, have to throw your clothes right in the washer when you get there because you smell like you've been in a packing house all day. And if you ever been around a packing house, you know how it is when you ride down the street and you smell them cows or them pigs in that truck going by, and you're like, oh God, it's a truck full of cows. Oh my God, roll the windows up, close the vents. So, you know, some people do what they got to do, you know, for a living to take care of their families. And so I'm like this. Hey, you got a job. You seem like you're a good person. You know, I don't give everybody a shot, but that day that I gave him a shot, I'm glad that all of my senses, all of my instincts were working, and I listened to my inner voice, and I told that man I did not want to talk to him anymore. Even though I just was ignoring his phone calls, he knew I didn't want to talk to him anymore. He talked to my friend, he talked to my sister. They told him quit calling me. I even put the police on the phone when he called one time. I even put the police on the phone. He knew I didn't want to have nothing to do with him. He kept being persistent. Now that I look back, after I found out, you know, all his charges and his history, his backstory, his rap sheet, his mental health issues, I was like thinking, God, like I could be maybe possibly not even be alive right now. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I could have had to put him down. I don't know. I don't know. And I'll never know. And I'm glad I will never, ever know. And I have never seen that man ever since then. And I'm thankful for that as well. But anyway, I hope you guys learned something tonight. For you that are single and looking to mingle. Ain't nothing wrong with dating. Ain't nothing wrong with getting out there and getting your feet wet, especially if you haven't dated in a while, or if you recently had a divorce, or, you know, broke up with somebody. It's okay. Take some time. Go slow. You don't have to jump right back out there into that dating pool. Take your time. Use your best judgment. There's a lot of people out here who's, what was that, there was a meme I had saw on Facebook one time. I can't remember what the meme said, but it was something to the fact there's a lot of men out here also who, if they weren't in a relationship like all the time, they would be homeless. Because there's a lot of men out here who are looking for women who have things that they don't have, like a home, an apartment, a car, a job. I don't know how many women I see all the time who got a man just up in their house just because they want to have a man. Or men that abuse them and take advantage of them, and they don't know how to get away. So there's a lot of places out there. There's almost in every community, there's a shelter. If you ever feel unsafe, call 911. Tell your friends, file police reports, get restraining orders, tell your family. Because if something happens, like that story in Greenleaf, and like in real life, if something happens and y'all get into an altercation and you have to either hurt somebody to get away or put them down for good, hopefully that'll never happen to you, but I'm just saying, it does happen. And then you wind up in jail, and you wind up locked up and pleading self-defense, but you never told anybody, you never pressed any charges, never got a restraining order, never called the cops, and you just kept it hidden from people. Don't do that. Always seek help, seek help, seek help. I ain't trying to be no commercial or anything tonight, but I just want to get that through. But anyway, I'm glad and thankful that you guys tuned in tonight, and I hope you guys learned something. If you have young girls, young daughters, young nieces, young cousins, make sure, let them watch this video. It wasn't too graphic. So, because I have little cousins and nieces and nephews who follow me on my YouTube. So that's why you don't really, if you watch all my videos, you don't really hear me cursing at all. Sometimes I may say hell or damn or, stuff like that. But I don't curse. Not saying I don't curse. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I don't curse. But I try not to curse too much on here because I really do have little cousins and nieces. And they be like, Aunt TT, Aunt Tanya, I watched your, and it was funny, and da-da-da, and what you say, and love and hip hop. And I'm like, oh, Lord, y'all watching me. But so I try to watch my tongue when I'm on here. But anywho, thank you, Miss Lady School. Thank you. I'll be back on here tomorrow. This is Nonstop November for YouTubers. So just in case some of y'all don't know that, Nonstop November is basically, I anyway do at least a video once a day, usually. But Nonstop November is when you do a video every day, whether it's a review or I don't know, just whatever. Like, I mainly do reviews. Y'all know that. TV shows, reality shows. But it's Nonstop November. So if you guys have a channel, if you have followers, if you have your own platform, it's November 2nd. Nonstop November. That means upload something every day. And then December, I heard, was Don't Stop December. So, you know what, with the holidays and everything coming up, I might not upload every day. I might not. And especially around the holidays. I'm already almost booked up for Thanksgiving because, again, most of you know I'm a personal custom cake decorator. So I'm almost booked up for Thanksgiving. I only have a few orders so far for Christmas, but they'll come in. The closer the holidays get, my phone keeps ringing off the hook, inboxes, emails, everything for orders. So anywho, I probably won't do it every day, but anywho, sometimes less content, more content is not always the best content. I've learned that from being on YouTube. Sometimes the most content is not the best content. Some people upload 4, 5, 6, 7 videos a day. I have seen it. I have seen it. But anywho, no shade, no shade. But anyway, you guys, I enjoyed talking to you guys tonight, and hopefully you guys enjoyed listening. I'm about to get off this live. I have an order early in the morning, a birthday order for some cupcakes. So I'm going to start on them tonight and get the cupcakes out the way, then decorate them in the morning for this little girl's birthday party. So you guys, make sure if you didn't like the video when you first joined in, please click the like button. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. And also share. Please make sure you share. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And in the meantime and in between time, Prime Time Squad, make sure you stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.